Hi Libra, welcome to your reading with me, Cindy. Libra, we're going to see if we can get into touch with your starseed family, your starseed guardians, and we're going to utilize their energy to ask what you should do at this time, what is being asked of you, what you should embrace or move towards to activate this, and then as well, what should you release your grip on or shift your concept around a little bit to kind of help you out to move forward. So hoping this is going to be an interesting reading. I'm incorporating a new deck, which has caused me to change actually all the decks that I'm using in this spread that I've been using this week, except the Starseed deck. We're still keeping true to the Starseed deck because that's what we're doing, the Starseed. But I've got a new deck here. It's called the Lace of Destiny Oracle deck. I just got it from, well, here you can see by Ania Rogoff. I don't know if I said that right. It's actually an artist, a deck creator that I supported in, was it like a GoFundMe? Was it like that? I don't remember what it was. But anyways, when I supported, I had the choice of adding another deck. So this isn't the one that I originally supported, but it's the second deck that I got, and I think it's, oh, I'm hoping it's going to be good. So we're going to shuffle it out. And so like I said, I'm going to be using the Ethereal Tarot, and I'm going to be using the Shaman Oracle deck. And going to be, so here it is. It's actually a really big deck. It's really interesting. I've never seen anyone else use it before, or seen it used. Not to say that it hasn't been and kind of publicly used. But anyway, so that's what we're going to do. Libra, we're going to shuffle out with those decks, and I'm going to start with the Starseed Oracle for you. Okay, I'm going to say I'm really excited because I tried so hard yesterday to do a reading for you. It was four attempts. Oh my gosh, nothing would flow. I honestly think that I was supposed to incorporate this deck. So here's the story. Yeah, I tried 4 times, and then I just gave it up to the ghost, which is funny because you have ghost dance here. And what I didn't realize is that deck was in the mailbox waiting for me to get to it, but I didn't know. And I woke up this morning and I had a message from the woman who made it saying, let me know. It shows that it's been delivered. The tracking shows. And yeah, it changed everything on the table. It was like you weren't meant to get a reading until that deck was ready. So I think it's really actually kind of profound because it's sort of the, the debut of that deck in this reading. And Libra, it is a really beautiful message. Everything has shuffled out so nicely, incorporating that and changing the, the decks. You just have to go with that when you just have to follow what you're being shown. And I want to say that the really beautiful thing for you to take, if you take anything away from this reading, it is to always remember and understand that true strength and true force and the force that exists within you, and whether that force is used to heal things, which I do see sitting on the table, but also to allow yourself to move forward in due time, because there is a struggle with that here, is it all comes from within, and it all comes from within your heart. So I think that's just such a beautiful message. There is something, so once we get beyond that and we really look at, because you could almost look at your life in poetry in that sense and say, wow, you know, sometimes the true force that exists, the only force that is unstoppable in you always is the force within your heart, the force within your own strength and fortitude. Those forces cannot be changed. To always see and recognize that, even when everything around you feels like you maybe even don't have much control. Okay, what you're being asked to do right now, you've got deep cellular healing, arctuous energy, physical and emotional healing. And then you have bondage and ghost dance, okay? Right now, that is so clear to me that there is some form of a ghost that still sits around you right now. Whether this is some sort of tiny energetic tie that you still have to someone or something from your past, that I want to say it could be working in a couple of ways here. It could actually be working, it is something that it's like a ghost from your past is how this is coming up. And you dance around with this ghost. It's somehow it doesn't leave you. I don't know why. It's either something within you that is still kind of working out. You're working it out. It might have feelings of, I don't know, it could be even feeling sort of trapped or having limited options in whatever this was with the bondage, but it is something that holds you back now. I think, you know, it's possible there could be something in the physical that's occurring that's holding you back until this is resolved, if it's some sort of an energetic tie that you have with this person. One of the things that's coming up with me in this little pile is that you may be experiencing, if you go to other readings, it just came in, so kind of channeling it. If you go to other readings and you want to find out about a new opportunity for yourself, what's my new job opportunity, or what will it be, or where will my next home be, or where will I live, or who will my next partner be, or where will I find them, or like anything like that that has to do with your future. But this is a future that is somehow like it's a road you've already paved in the past, but in another place and time, or with other people or another person. You know what I'm saying? Like you have experience in this, but where's the new one? I feel like you probably still get a lot of readings if you go to things like that and they're picking up the old energy. It's because there's something here that you have to work through. I do feel like it's some sort of healing that, I'm not gonna lie, like there's some sort of sense here of feeling like kind of trapped, just trapped, because it talks about physical and emotional healing and being like the bondage in this person feels like a prisoner. It feels like a hostage, doesn't it? Like it feels like a hostage. Even like I'm suddenly putting like my hands right here, feeling like I'm choking, or yeah. I mean, there might even be anxiety that comes up with this. Yeah, there's something here. Your starseed family is saying, let's heal this, my friend. Just hearing this is such a gentle energy that's coming through in this reading. It's like, let's heal this, my friend. So we have the King of Wands, right? This is a very self-empowered, where am I going? What am I doing? Very active energy, but then the Four of Pentacles comes in and this Four of Pentacles sits under here. It sits under this bondage card. Nurturing. I want to say there's things in the physical that you were meant to nurture. I'm looking at this hostage too. When I think of hostage, this is someone who doesn't have a means or resources to free themselves. I mean, they might even be kind of, I guess, it's up to, you know, circumstances to play out around them. Maybe the rope isn't so tight. I really feel like this could be a trigger reading, but I feel like it's meant to trigger, to be quite honest, because you're meant to release something here and let this ghost go. Give it up to the ghost. Give it up to the ghost, Libra. Give it up to the ghost. Because I want to say you may even believe that you have limited options, or that you can't succeed. It's also seen in my mind's eye here. Again, I'm very much hoping that this is all very metaphorical, but even the feelings that come in with this somehow. You know, it could even be like work. You could have worked in a place for such a long time that you lose yourself there, but you know, you need the money. You need, like, you know, like there's something that holds you there, but in the same breath, it also takes away from you. Like it gives you enough that it takes away. It's almost parasitic. But so what I'm seeing here is somebody who the ropes were, it's almost like the ropes were left loose to see if you would do anything with that, to test you. You know, like whatever is hostage of you, or was. I feel like was, because it's a ghost. It's a ghost of your past. I really honestly feel like some of you have been through some sort of trauma. There may have been like financial abuse in this. Physical, possibly. I feel like the physical is somehow coming out like feeling stuck though and trapped. But I also don't want to, if anyone has been through anything like that, I don't want to, I don't want to tell you it wasn't. So if it was, right, it was. I just feel like the majority of the energy that I'm picking up on is just feeling like limited in terms of choices. But so where I'm seeing is like the ropes become loose, but then you're almost too terrified to move away from your own hostage situation. So I'm saying that too. So your own hostage situation. And some of you may have even just been like very long-term hermit energy with that as well. And then you almost become a ghost of yourself too. But the Six of Wands is here. The Six of Wands is here to tell us at the end of the day, you will surmount, I want to say, whatever you're going through. You will succeed in healing this. So even if it's something that maybe you're struggling with, like, will I heal this? Will I, whatever it is that makes you feel like a ghost of yourself, or there's a ghost from your past that limits you somehow, you will succeed over this. So that is the other thing that your starseed family is trying to tell you, would like to tell you. What's being asked of you, honestly, is just to heal. It is to recognize what has held you back and what holds you back at this time. And it is to put the ghosts to rest. It's to put the ghosts to rest. So what you should embrace or move towards to activate this, all paths lead home, and force and the beloved. Wow. That's kind of where immediately I got this energy of this heart within you, which is supported by the universe, God, source, your angels, your guides, and that you can utilize this force within you to find the true path for you. And I am kind of getting with that too, though, is that some of you may need to do something physically that you're holding yourself back from doing. It could be something simple. Like I don't know if I'm picking up on even somebody who's even having like some sort of a social anxiety perhaps as well. Like it could be something like going to a park that could be kind of busy with people. Like there's a bit of a forcing yourself gently and easily onto the path that you're meant to be walking. The Three of Cups and the Three of Pentacles and the Two of Wands are coming out with that. It also feels as though there are some dreams or some ideas that are waiting for you to be explored. So I'm just looking at the artwork. Start to take a mild interest in things outside of you. Just seeing this one character here, how he's kind of off to the side, but he's kind of looking at the plans, but I don't feel like he's looking at the plans, trying to be sneaky, because the person holding this blueprint or this idea, whatever it is that they're all going to work together and do, it's holding it out quite freely and away from his body so that everyone can see it. But there's something about this person here, which I feel like is you, particularly based on the bondage and the ghost of yourself energy. It's almost like everything's already been discussed but sat back and allowed it to happen, allowed a discussion, perhaps like a group. There's this double group energy here, this double group energy of allowing something to be discussed and then maybe not feeling courageous or just sitting back or not feeling like you had something to offer. There's really an element here of you coming out of a shell. You coming out of a shell after some type of a difficult time. And it's almost as if, I feel like these two other characters are almost like everything's been discussed. They're just kind of, maybe everything is assimilating in their minds that was already talked about what this project would be, right? And it's almost the moment before everyone stands up and starts going and doing what they're going to do. But there's something about your energy. It's like almost last minute. Oh, okay. Putting yourself out there. There's that little feeling of putting yourself out there. Curiosity, just kind of dipping in a bit. And it doesn't have to be about a project, because this Two of Wands is the next card, where it is just looking beyond the confines of where you are, is what the Two of Wands is about. You are the master of your internal domain, your domain where you are right now. But it is mastering or deciding or thinking or projecting what could be for me out there. It's interesting, isn't it? I mean, this bull is just feels so forceful. But the heart is just so gentle. It's such a gentle, warm energy. I don't feel like you should necessarily be pushing anything like really hard, or even pushing yourself very hard right now, Libra. I feel like it's the natural forces within you that are the part that's meant to be the strongest. Okay, the thing that you are being asked to soften your grip on or change your concept of is, we have the blue flame. So spontaneous awakening, activation, integration time. You have the stork, and then you have the jaguar. It's interesting too that they're calling it a stork. I guess it is, but to me it looks like a great blue heron, which I guess is probably maybe part of the stork family. It would look, yeah, okay. Because I'm thinking like stork, I associate that with, babies, birth, new beginnings, new cycles, heralding the new beginnings. It's got a bit of a judgment, kind of a fool and judgment energy mixed together. But then the jaguar, it's almost like doing, oh my gosh, the ghost dance. Okay, I'm not sure how that is going to apply practically, but at least in an energetic way. Do you see this stork looks like it's doing a bit of a dance in the water, but I feel like it's doing it to confuse the jaguar. The jaguar is coming up in this card as feeling a little bit uncomfortable. It feels like, you know, it's like a predator towards this stork. But the jaguar actually is even utilizing a very similar head movement to this person that caught my eye here in this card. It's like creating or having a little bit of confidence to put yourself in there and look. Oh, what is that? Oh, curiosity. Activate curiosity. Dance around the ghost. This is going to sound crazy, but I really feel like there's something here about even doing some sort of a ritual. And it doesn't have to be anything based in any religion, or it just could even be your own ritual. I really honestly think that that's just as powerful as anything that others may tell you that you should do or utilize, because it's your immediate connection and feeling to yourself and source, how to move beyond something. It's, you know, like you think of a rain dance and it gets rid of the drought. This is a dance that gets rid of the ghosts. This is a dance that gets rid of the ghosts and heralds in your new beginning. It's the activation. It's a little bit like the jaguar is showing up a bit like it could be the last bit of devil energy. You know, this ghost just feels like the things that haunt you. The things that haunt you. Interesting. It's 22. And the Four of Pentacles, right? 2 and 2, 4 is coming up as that holding you back. The holding you back energy. Yeah, I really feel like too, some of you are, if you're not complete in some healing here, you're very, very close. And you're getting to the point where you will be doing a lot more self-actualization. But it's getting rid of the ghost. The final dance. To remove the energy of the ghost. The jaguar is protecting the moon. The moon represents our cycles. There's something about distracting this with the storky ghost dance. And the devil is distracted just long enough that it releases the cycle. It's also reminding me too, you know, if they had a nest nearby and the adults will perform this really elaborate, look, pay attention to me, which is genius. Birds are so smart. It's genius. It's to lure, I think sandpipers and killdeers are like, is it a killdeer? Yeah. That will do that as well. And they will lure the predator away from the nest. From the nest, which holds the eggs, which hatch open to new beginnings. There's something here about distracting that. I'm not sure in a practical sense. But anyways, get out and dance. Dance and like put it out to the universe. Whatever ghosts haunt you, to release them, to ask the universe in a very distracted way. Maybe if you're distracting like this, the dark energies will, what the hell is going on? Libra's having like a seizure or a spastic attack. They won't realize that you're putting something into the universe to remove the energy. The Strength card, the Star, and the Ten of Pentacles. Wow. There's greatness here for you. There is greatness. Do your own kind of crazy dance too to get to it, to actualize yourself, to activate and integrate. This is sort of, I want to say that Four of Pentacles, this being held back and feeling like a hostage. It could even be just feeling like a hostage due to circumstances that are playing out around you. The Successful Ghost Dance too. The Successful Ghost Dance. But this, the Strength card is almost, to me, it's kind of even the major arcana of that Four of Pentacles. So the Four of Pentacles being the minor arcana expression of the Strength card is holding yourself back. I hold myself back because I choose to do that. I choose to do that, but doing it in a healthy way, or recognizing when it's the right time for you or when it's not the right time, as opposed to being held back or feeling held back because of things going on outside of you that you feel like you don't have any control over when you're in that bondage situation. Healing that, bringing blessings down, and these blessings come in the way of, wow, it's just great. It's peaceful, it's stable, it's perhaps whatever it is that you're trying to achieve in your life. Now, I haven't touched on the underlying. You have one underlying card with the Starseed deck. You have Pulse of the Mother, slow down, time in nature. So this might be something that you've been doing or that you're being called to do. Now the Coyote and the Earth Keeper. This is interesting too. The Coyote is coming up for me right now as one who's just trying to survive but being persecuted in that element. There's a Coyote family that's taken up residence. I'm not even sure where it is. It's sort of something that's been discussed on a few social media platforms and neighbors and whatnot. Because there's people that want the coyotes removed. And the thing is, they don't look particularly healthy from the pictures that I've seen. They do look like they have mange or something. But they're trying to raise their cubs. But they've lost a lot of the outlying territories that they would normally be in because there's been more and more housing development. And so they're saying they're not doing anything to anyone. If you don't feed them, if you don't interact with them, they will keep to themselves. And the pictures that I've seen of them, they look like this. It's just a feeling of being persecuted and just need a few minutes here to raise my pups and then I'll be moving on. I don't know if that's the case or not. I'm not trying to actually get into that debate or discussion. It's just the energy of what's coming through with that. But yeah, when you look at them, they're not healthy. They're struggling. They're trying the best that they can in the situation that they have. Now, the Earth Keeper, right? The Keeper of the Earth, to me, it's almost as if things have been removed that would naturally provide an environment and a situation for this coyote to not find itself in that position. You know, and there is a sense of, well, I really can't go anywhere else. What am I going to do? This is not the best environment. It's not the healthiest environment. It's making do. Can't you see that I'm the one actually who is struggling here? This is interesting. The Earth Keeper. Oh, two. It's kind of as if the ones that should be our guides are, little signs through nature. I often feel that animals, because they do not have this sort of ego that mankind has, that spirit can utilize them in a much more fluid way to communicate signs to us. And they follow their signs through each other so readily and willingly. But right, it's almost like a messenger of the divine is, so I don't know, the messenger of the divine is being even held back in you. Like if you're even having difficulty choosing paths or directions right now, because it seems like the earth is not supporting you. It's not the earth, and it's not the universe or spirit or God. It is the actions of other people. And the actions of other people may or may not even be directly intended to influence you. It's sort of like the butterfly effect. It's really interesting reading. You're underlined here with this Lace of Destiny Oracle deck. You have Mrs. Smith followed by Holiday. So there's so many things that could come in with that. I'm hearing Mrs. Robinson, but that's funny. So, Jesus. Oh, Mrs. Robinson. Jesus loves you more than you should know. You would know. Oh. God bless you, please, Mrs. Robinson. It's interesting. I think just because it's sort of a very generic and common name, Anglo-Saxon kind of. I think I got that right. Yeah. So that's interesting. So that's a message in itself. But then, right, there's this beautiful holiday here. You may specifically even know somebody whose name is Mrs. Smith, and that might be someone that you might be going on holiday with. Your name could be Mrs. Smith. Now, what I do get with this, though, is Mrs. Smith, to me, comes up as, if I was to, because this deck is interesting. It has a lot of cards in it that are both very, Lanamar, no, I'm not saying that right. Lanamar, oh shit. What is that version of? I can see it. I'm not saying it. It's not coming out of my mouth. Anyways, it's a little bit like the Kipper, but it's not. But even, I want to say there's like Kipper energy in this deck. The Larnomar, I can't say it. It's not coming out of my mouth. I can literally see the word. But as well as the tarot, there's elemental energies in here. It's quite a big deck. Well, you can see it, right? It is. It's a huge deck. But the one thing that I'm getting at here with the Mrs. Smith is it reminds me of the main female, because there's a Mrs. Smith and a Mr. Smith in this deck. And then there's a male stranger and a female stranger. So, but to me, because Smith is such a common name, it's somebody, to me, it's almost like somebody that you know. Either somebody that you know or you recognize, but it also is the main female to me, the way that's coming through. And this vacation. There is some sort of energy here about perhaps finding a connection with someone that feels like a holiday. It's just a really nice energy. This is not a holiday. This does not feel anything like a holiday. And the ghosts of the past that even kind of dance around you. But this is a nice energy because it's also familiar. Mrs. Smith is familiar somehow. That's what I have. That's what I have with actually this reading. It was kind of fascinating. I'm really happy we got through it. Yesterday became quite exhausting. I actually even just put you away, to be honest. And I thought, maybe it's just Libra. I tried doing Scorpio and see what happens. And I had the same struggle. And I thought, maybe it's me. And then this deck came and I realized it had been delivered yesterday. And I thought, I got a feeling that that's supposed to be the energy that's needed to be incorporated in here. And I wasn't allowed to do readings until I went out and got the deck. And look at that. I completed the readings, which is a wonderful feeling. I'm glad I was able to do that for you. I'm going to go and do the extended. I'm going to continue to do what I was doing in the other extendeds. I'm going to use these decks. And you can see this deck is huge. I could really continue to use this deck in the extended. And I want to see what other messages that there are for you. From your starseed family through these decks. So thank you so much, Libra. Until next time, do be gentle with yourselves. Bye.